22 million people registered to vote. This means that they woke up, and when they were asked to register as voters, they did. This means that they also had registered in different places intending to vote. Now that the elections are concluded, 35% of them didn't show up to vote for reasons we may never understand. And as we speak today, we have a new president chosen by 65% of the registered voters. Now, one of the things that I hear so many people who did not go to vote say is the message by a particular politician did not connect with me, and that's the reason why I did not vote. These are the very same people who have been telling us things, and so I don't believe that they will change anything, so I did not vote. Nothing is going to change no matter who goes in, so that's a reason why I didn't go to vote. Now, first of all, voting is a choice. It's a choice because you choose to wake up in the morning, you choose who you want to vote for, and you live with your choice. But secondly, voting is a responsibility. It's a responsibility because if things are not going the way that you want them to go, or that you wish for them to go, technically you get 5 years to live with a particular decision, and you get one chance every 5 years to choose how you want the country to go. Now, while between being yellow or being blue doesn't necessarily change what is going on in your personal life, I believe that any decision that is made at a national level, whether you like it or not, it will affect you. Look at this. When the country of Russia and Ukraine were fighting, they're not fighting anywhere near Africa. They're not fighting anywhere near Kenya. But from what is happening in their country with their own issues, don't know what's going on there, have no idea who's fighting who, but something that's happening across the globe is affecting the price of cooking oil in our country. It's affecting the price of fuel in our country. These are things that we cannot turn a blind eye to. Just because something does not directly affect you does not mean that it doesn't affect you. That's one of the things that I'd love for us to think about as we go into the next 5 years. Because every decision that is made by the executive is going to directly affect you. And this notion that I don't have anyone who represents me, for me, it doesn't really bear fruit, because there are young people who showed up and made sure that they were on the ballot, but we didn't vote for them. There were politicians, some we can't really call them politicians because they don't have political record. There were people who showed up and they told us this is how I'm going to change this country in the next 5 years. And the people that we say we are not going to vote for still got votes. And the people who we were saying, this one looks different, we never showed up to vote. As a Kenyan, from where I sit, at the end of the day, I need to work on what I can work on, because there is very little that I can do as one person to change this country. But if everyone feels that way, and everyone feels that one vote is not important, look at this. The top two people had close to 300,000 votes between them. And this could have been a very different story if 200 or 300,000 people had shown up. Because the election is already done, what can you and I do to make sure that the next 5 years we actually do something for ourselves? The first thing that I believe each of us can do is to be active in a civil way. I'm struggling to call it the way civil activists do, but every single Kenyan needs to be an activist for themselves. And this goes from interrogating what it is these manifestos say and what is actually happening. Because I refuse to believe that we are okay with living in a place where someone will tell you something and then they don't do it and then you're still okay with it. I believe the next 5 years we should actually, quote unquote, make noise about fulfilling of manifestos. I believe that each of us should take their responsibility of being an active Kenyan a bit more seriously. And that starts from calling out when things are not going the way they should be going. No matter who you voted for in the election, this country belongs to each one of us, and it doesn't belong more to others than it does to others. The vote that you cast, the vote that I cast, is my choice. It's your choice. And you are not less of a Kenyan if you voted one way and the vote went another way. In fact, all of us have a responsibility because we voted for a particular person with the conviction that they would do what they said they would do. So for each one of us, it's upon each one of us to take that responsibility and be active in making sure that your own future, your own career, your own business works in this country. Because no one is going to come from the executive and come and take care of things inside your house, inside your home. They are going to make policies while seated in another place, but they'll affect you inside your house. And so it is upon each one of us to take that responsibility and know that in order for things to work in this country, the people we have elected to be our representatives must indeed do as representatives do and represent us. The fact of the matter is, these are people we have chosen to go and speak on our behalf. They are our agents, and we are the principal. We are the ones who are supposed to give us the direction of the way we are supposed to go. And the people we have put in power, the people we have put in elective positions, we have put them there so that we as Kenyans can drive our agenda forward. It's not their agenda, it's ours. They should be coming to us to ask us how we should be moving forward. And if we see they're going in the wrong direction, we should be able to stand up and say, hey, I didn't elect you to go and do that. I elected you to go and do this. So that we don't sit down and for 5 years we are in corners, in places, congregating among ourselves, complaining about what they are doing and never telling them that they are not doing the thing that we asked them to do. My responsibility, your responsibility, is for the next 5 years to stand up and say, whatever you're doing, this is not what you said. You're doing well, this is what you want you to do next. That's our responsibility. Take your responsibility very seriously, as I am planning to. And this notion that we should stay in our own corners, it doesn't work. This is our country. This is my country. This is your country. I cannot let my country go in a different direction than I hope it would. For my own sake, for my children, for my grandchildren, and generations to come. Things are changing in this country, and I'm glad for it. But they can change even faster. I am taking my responsibility very, very seriously for the next 5 years. So that when we come to the next election, this is what I'm hoping for. Number one, we need to have a way for us to be able to know who has won by the end of the first day. It's possible. Number two, we need to have elections that are so transparent that no one would dare raise a question as to their validity. Number three, we need to get to a point where elections do not stop businesses and Kenyans from going on with their lives, that they continue to just be a part of our normal life, and things don't have to come to a standstill for a whole month plus because suppliers keep telling you we're waiting for the elections. Customers keep telling you we're waiting for the elections. That should not be happening in 5 years from now. And the change starts today. The change starts with me. The change starts with you. The change starts with each one of us. Because one vote is important. Just one. And that one is you. That one is me. God bless you. God bless Kenya.